Talk about a collision of giant proportions. This is it. The match went all over.
Well, I'll tell you what, this thing, but I know stretched imagination can be billed as a wrestling match, because every time Brody and I get together, we just go at it. There's some punches right there, and those are some bombs laying in there. Some big 1-2s. Brody about 300 pounds. We eyeball to eyeball right now. Now, Brody understands only one thing, that's brute force. And here it comes right there. There's an atomic bomb dropping on him, spinning around, Gordon. When you're dealing with an element like this, and you're dealing with a person like Brody, there's a big slam. I'm going to tell you what, I weigh 3 pounds. Brody's he's a strong man. He's one of the strongest men in the world. We came from him. But as I was saying before, he only understands one thing. And you've got to take it to him hard and fast. Here we go. Probably one of the first times that Brody's ever been off his feet in his life. And I gave him just a little extra added shove there because I was trying to injure him. He's taking control of the match right now, Gordon. He's got me outside. He's got me on the ropes just a little bit. But with a man like him, with a man like Brody, you got to watch every minute. Here he is right here. He's fixing to work me over. I'm fighting back a bit. He's got me hurt a little bit, Gordon. But I realize at this point right now that I've got to do something for the state of Texas. I've got to come flew loose. Right into the post. Brody. Now Brody's back in the ring. Every time we get together, this thing can start in the ring, but it winds up on the outside and winds up everywhere. Now I'm fixing to lose my cool at this point, without a doubt. I'm still hammering Brody, but he's taking everything I got, and he's a tough man. He can hang right in there. Here we are going, we back out. We go all over the stadium. We go arena. We're going down the aisle right there. It makes no difference. Here I am saying right here, I'm asking for a no rules, everything. And I'm still hammering Brody, but he's taking everything I got, and he's a tough man. He can hang right in there. Here we are going, we back outside again. We go all over the stadium. We go all over the arena. We're going down the aisle right there. It makes no difference. Here I am saying right here, I'm asking for a no disqualification match. No rules, everything barred is what I'm saying right now. I'm begging for it. And Gordon, it doesn't matter where it's at. You pick any state in the union. You pick any place you want to, Brody. Because you and I are going to get together. You're going to quit running roughshod on all these kids down here and quit pushing them around, because this old Texas boy, you can't push around anymore. So, Brody, all you got to do is be a man for the first time in your life. Step in the ring, and we'll see how tough Bruiser Brody really is, Gordon.
Yeah. Thank you so very much. Blackjack Mulligan, and we'll be seeing him in action in the ring in just a couple of moments. Mr. Rick Link, Bruiser Brody has just appeared on the scene, as it is quite obvious.
As a gentleman, I want to make one thing clear that you didn't make clear. In the last Omni, Bruiser Brody was the winner, so the score in this whole thing is BB1, Cowboy Mulligan 0. Thank you. Now, as the regular Bruiser Brody, I want to make one other thing clear. Come in here real close, real close. I want you to look at my face. I've been beat up before. I've been beat up by bigger guys than Mulligan, and I've been beat up by smaller guys. And I ain't ashamed to look at nobody out there and tell about it. But let me tell you one thing you forgot, Mulligan. And you better remember it before you climb in that ring in the Omni. If you're one of those few that do get a piece of my... You can bet your last nickel I'm going to get up. Because I always got up when I got beat up before. And when I get up, I'm going to get you. And you know what I mean when I say get you? I'll get him.
Well, it's no disqualification and no count-out.
I don't need a count-out. I don't need a disqualification. What I need is Big Mouth Cowboy Mulligan backing up what he's been passing out.
There you see Blackjack Mulligan now putting the claw hold on Bruiser Brody. But watch things very, very carefully now. Watch extremely carefully. The referee... And this, of course, Blackjack Mulligan is famous for. He has won countless matches using that claw hold to the head, and Brody is being driven back to the canvas. Both of these men over 300 pounds. Both of them are 6'5" to 6'7". Extremely powerful. A battle of two complete giants here. And Brody battling his way back. Any average wrestler would have been out of it by now, but this, of course, was at the Omni on June 21st. Now watch as... Look at Brody. Watch his hand. He's going into the boot. Watch his hand going into the boot. Unaware of this situation. Now watch carefully because Mulligan is set to go back to try and reapply that. Now watch Brody catching it. Now he had gone into that boot taking something out. There was no question about it. Notice the way that hand is still clamped. Now covering the hand at count of 3. That must have been something very, very hard to catch Blackjack Mulligan like that.
All right, Brody, I'm going to tell you something right now. You name the rules, my friend. You got to take something out of your tights. You can't stand it. You got to take something out of your tights. You've always been a man like that, come from behind, hit somebody from behind. Right here in my hand, my friend, is the contract. It has been signed. Texas street fight rules, brother. That means there are no rules. Bring anything you want to, wear anything you want to, and Brody, I'm going to tell you something right now. You're going to need everything you got. You can bring the hog leg. You can bring your hammer. You can bring your nails. I'm going to have my boots. I'm going to have my spurs. Because, brother, here are the boots that for 2 years consecutively took me to the Texas Street Fight Championship in Sweetwater, Texas. And, Brody, you had better be as bad as you say you are because anything goes. You don't know what I'm going to have in my tights. You don't know what I'm going to have in my boots. Nobody has ever seen anything like this in the history of wrestling. Texas street fight rules, Brody. We're going to see how mean you are, how tough you are, because, brother, there's got to be somebody going down, somebody with some teeth knocked out, somebody hurt, and it's going to be you, Brody.
Let's get something straight. 4 times. 4 times I've been in the ring with Cowboy Mulligan. 3 times I won. 1 time the referee said he won. Let's get something straight. A lot of people talking about championship belts, winning, losing. Are they nuts? Let me tell you something. Where I come from, it don't matter whether you win, whether you lose. What matters is who can pick themselves up by their britches and walk out of that damn ring. When Mulligan was laying flat on his back, buried in his own slop, them 2 honky brothers showed up. And I say honky brothers. You know, let me tell you something. I know that Mulligan, after the last Omni show, was toted off for 24 hours of observation at the Brady Hospital over here. I don't care. Listen, when you got a reputation like me, you spend a lot of time hiding behind buildings. And I hid behind that Omni, and I waited to finish what I started in that ring. And when Mulligan left, I followed him right to the hospital.
I understand you're upset with Dusty Rhodes, too.
The American dream. That's what I'm going to do to you, American dream.
Well, here are some comments from Dusty Rhodes that I think bear listening to. So let's give a listen to the world champion.
You know, a very short time ago, Columbus, Ohio became the nation's wrestling capital. Harley Race got his return match, Columbus, Ohio, Bruiser Brody. Ole Anderson felt the dream.
Referring, of course, to Bruiser Brody, an exceptionally dangerous and awesome man once he steps in that ring.
Gordon Soley, you know what this flag represents to everybody who's in the wrestling world? It represents the American dream. Let me tell you something, Dusty Rhodes. When I was a young man in this business, I used to watch you on TV, and you were so pretty, I didn't know whether to take you home or come down there and beat your brains out. Well, let me tell you something. You come out here and shoot your big mouth off about me. You think you're real cute now that you're wearing the world's heavyweight title? Gordon Soley, there ain't nobody looking at me on this TV right now. There ain't nobody in this building right now that believes that Dusty Rhodes can beat Bruiser Brody in the middle of that ring. And you know what? They're right.
Well, what about in Columbus, Ohio, my friend?
Let me tell you something. Dusty Rhodes, I'm going to put it to you just like I put it to that big, fat Cowboy Mulligan. You know, since I came here, it seems like I've become a real popular man. All of a sudden, everybody knows if they're going anywhere in the wrestling world, they got to go by yours truly, Bruiser Brody. And that includes Dusty Rhodes. You know, the National Heavyweight Championship belt is only as good as the man who holds it. And in case everybody out there ain't realized it yet, the world title is a piece of scrap junk because you got a great, big, fat, worthless pig wearing it.
Well, Blackjack Mulligan wants you in the Omni, too, my friend. A wrestler, there are some...
You know, Gordon, I want to make sure everybody knows what happened this week. I was contacted by my attorney about coming out here on national TV last week and calling Dusty Rhodes a great, big, fat, overstuffed pig. Well, I want to make sure everybody knows that Dusty Rhodes is a big, fat, egotistical blowhard. And I don't mean instead of a pig, I mean in addition to a pig. I want to tell you something about Dusty Rhodes. He's beat every wrestler in this game from Manhattan Island to San Francisco. Every wrestler except yours truly, Bruiser Brody. And I want to make sure that everybody looking at me knows one thing. Take it as the gospel. He ain't going to beat me. He never beat me. And when I get through with him, everybody will know who is and who ain't deserving of being the world's champion.
Well, Blackjack Mulligan still wants you in Atlanta at the Omni, sir.
You know what he reminds me of? You remember when you was a kid and you had one of those little bolo punching bags and you put your foot on it and you'd haul off and you'd bust it and it would hit the floor and it would come all the way back up. And you kept punching it and punching it. And after about 4 years, it just wore out, fell apart, and you took it out back, stuffed it in your trash can, and threw it away like the garbage it is. And that's exactly what I think of Blackjack Cowboy Mulligan.
Tomorrow night in Columbus, Ohio, your chance to get that world championship.
You see this, Boots? I'm going to kick Dusty Rhodes in the back of the head, in the back of his pants, and clean out the front door of the convention center in Columbus, Ohio.
Well, at the wrestling capital of the world, Columbus, Ohio. All of a sudden, it's on the map. Seen some great wrestling matches there. Bruiser Brody, now it's your chance of destiny. Now it's your time to get your ugly face in there with the prettiest, the greatest, the best. My fists are like lightning bolts flashing from the sky. I'm going to whip you in Columbus, Ohio, like your mama should have whipped you about 27, 28, 29 years ago. I'm going to make you look silly because you ain't going to take the gold from the Golden Boy.
Gentlemen, that if you listen to him, you'll find out...
All right, Gordon.
Well, Bruiser Brody, a very bright...
They done heard enough. Let's get something right now. I don't know what a lumberjack match means to you people, and I don't know what it means to you, but I know what it means to me. It means that Cowboy Mulligan can no longer step into the ring with yours truly, Bruiser Brody, by himself. He's bringing 12 additional men with him. I'm taking it that it is now 13 men against me. And I want to make it real clear that all 13 men, including Big Cowboy Mulligan, ain't going to change what's been happening for the last month around here. I'm still going to kick his up around his neck, and for anybody who's concerned, especially...
Well, tomorrow night...
Now wait a minute, especially all those wrestlers around the ring, I'm going to tell them right now, the first lumberjack that lays one finger on me, I'm going to unload on him. I'm going to knock the living daylights out of him. I'm telling everybody who's coming to the Omni that I fight my own battle. And Mulligan better learn to fight his own battle. And the first time and the last time, I'm going to kick Mulligan, Tiny, and everybody else who sticks their nose in my business. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of guys on the card that don't come out as lumberjacks. I'm going to take it that they're real smart, but they're big cowards. And I know there's going to be a lot of guys on the card out there as lumberjacks. I'm going to take it that they're real brave, but real stupid.